What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Educated Barfly. Today we're doing a little bit different of an episode. We are doing some quarantine episodes. Let me take this off because it's really not all that comfortable, and then we'll talk about it. And it's probably muffling my voice anyway. So let me just take this off, and then we'll go through our whole spiel. All right. If you guys have been following our channel for any length of time, then you know that Marius and I have been trying to kind of get through quarantine and social distancing by releasing old episodes that we had as Patreon exclusives as a way to keep our channel going. The thing is that because we are doing social distancing, we can't shoot together, and and luckily our patrons, not our Patreons, but our patrons were gracious enough to tell us that they didn't mind that we would give away this exclusive content so that we could keep our schedule on YouTube. But since social distancing guidelines have been extended through May 15th here in California, we are going to run out of episodes and we need to get creative to learn how to shoot. So, what have we learned? Well, we learned that Leandro can't really set up lighting all that well. We have all sorts of weird shadows. We usually do this during the day and it's at night now, so we're getting these kind of harsh shadows everywhere. And Marius, the genius of lighting, is not here to help out at all. So, Marius is on a video phone over there. And we're going to try and shoot this cocktail just with me, which is really weird because I usually have someone behind the camera that I can laugh at or I can break balls with. Yeah, laugh at. Yeah. We can laugh together anyway. Laugh with each other. Right. Is that a little better? Does that make you feel better? So we can laugh with each other or we can have fun. But here I am alone in my kitchen. I've got Marius on this weird video phone. We're going to try and do this. The other thing that's kind of fallen flat with our Patreon content is that Patreon content that I was putting out was called Home Bar Advanced. So a lot of them are complicated cocktails. A lot of people are stuck in their house. Everyone's social distancing, trying not to go to the market as much as possible. And as a result of that, we don't really have a lot of stuff to work with. So I thought that I would do some very simple recipes with you. The cocktail that I'm going to be doing today is called a Laurel Canyon. It was created by a guy named Elliot Montero, who is the Los Angeles brand ambassador for Montenegro here, Amaro Montenegro, and Clare Ward, who is the Los Angeles brand ambassador for Mulholland Distilling. It is a offshoot of a cocktail called a Cobble Hill that was created by Sam Ross at Milk and Honey. And it's one of those Manhattan variations that were named after different New York neighborhoods. So we decided that we would name this after an LA neighborhood. The way this came about actually is that Elliot Montero is a fantastic photographer. And if you look on our Instagram, a lot of those really moody kind of lifestyle drink shots that we did at the bar were done by Elliot. And while we were shooting one of those, it was actually the very last photo shoot I did before all of this COVID-19 stuff happened. He asked me, well, let's do a couple of cocktails. I did a couple of cocktails, and he's like, what do you want to shoot next? I didn't know. He said, let's try this variation that I worked on with Clare. I said, okay. And then I kind of tweaked it in my own way. It is a fantastic recipe. Let's get into making the drink. So first thing we're going to do is just a few dashes. We're doing it right out of the bitters dasher, not out of a Japanese dasher. So we're just going to do 2 dashes of grapefruit bitters from Fees. And then we're going to add just 3 cucumber slices to the bottom of the glass. Then we're going to do half an ounce of dry vermouth. And half an ounce of Amaro Montenegro. And then just a full 2 ounces here of Mulholland gin. Now, Mulholland gin is very cucumber-forward gin. It's a lot like Hendrick's. So if you cannot find Mulholland and you need to sub for something, you can definitely sub for Hendrick's. I got this really nice glass muddler from Andrew Jordan over at Surfside Sips. It is pretty amazing. It is kind of a prototype. It's just something that he asked me about, and I said, he said, what other glass implements for the bar could you use? I said, a muddler would be really nice. Marius thinks it looks kind of suggestive, right, Marius?
That's what the consensus on the live stream was, yes.
Right. So to add more complication to our day, not only are we trying to shoot these videos in a way we've never shot them before, but we also did a live stream ahead of time. So we did a live stream for an hour and 15 minutes or so, and then we set up to make regular episodes. A lot of people thought this looked like what? What did it look like?
I don't think we can say on YouTube, can we?
Can we not? Really?
I don't know.
That's right. Okay, well, there could be children watching. But I think this looks kind of awesome. So basically, this is modeled after, when he asked me about what what he could make for me. I have these like little muddlers from the 1920s that are made out of glass, like tempered glass. And they're tiny. They're like this big, and you have to like kind of muddle like that. And I thought it would be kind of cool to have like a big version of that. I think this is pretty awesome. I love the fact that I have this glass muddler. I'm just wondering how it's going to go in the glass. What?
Are you not afraid that it's going to chip when you
I don't know.
do it
That's
the
the one thing that I was just about to say is that I'm a little afraid that it might chip, but let's try it out, right? I mean, if it chips the glass, then that sucks. And if it chips this thing, I don't think... This thing's solid. It's not going to chip, so...
Well, until it does, but yes.
Yeah, you're a pragmatic self. The thing is, I think the trick is to not let it like really hit the glass too much and just to muddle lightly, but there you go. I mean, didn't chip my muddler there, naysayer. I don't think it chipped the glass. It got a nice muddle. Let's get our ice in here. This ice is, we've done so many takes, this ice got kind of wet, so I'm going to have to adjust the shake for that. I mean, the shake. I'm going to adjust the stir for that. So excuse the, there might be a little bit more cutting involved in this episode than normal. So we're going to give it a nice stir.
We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. I know, you like to keep in the imperfections. But we're going to give it a nice stirry poo here. Just a little stirry poo though, because we don't want to stir too much. And then we're going to get our nice I love these old-fashioned strainers. They're really cool. And we're just going to strain into our Nick and Nora. If you give these guys a really good muddle, these cucumbers a really good muddle, you may want to double strain so that no particulate from the cucumber gets in your drink. But I'm really not I'm not too concerned, and I don't really see that many particulates. And then you just want to do that, and then your garnish will be like that. But I'm going to take it off so that we can try it. Oh, that is fantastic. It's like light. The thing is that once you replace rye whiskey, which is what the Cobble Hill would be, was a rye whiskey base. For gin, it's almost more of a martini, you know, but it's like it's so light and dry. It's so nice. You get a really nice pop from the grapefruit bitters.
Why do you keep looking at me all the time?
You know why? I keep looking at you because notifications keep coming up on my phone because you're on video on my phone. And so I just saw a Surfside Sips notification come up. And then I thought to myself, wait a minute, this isn't live, so there's no way. But I think during the live stream, some people bought some Surfside Sips when I mentioned the lightsaber straws. So maybe he was just getting in touch with us for that. Now let me get back to the tasting notes there, Marius, because this is way off subject. I mean, what I like about this is that the cucumber and the grapefruit go so well together, but then you have this really nice, almost, it's like this nice depth and almost savoriness that you get from the Amaro Montenegro. And not to mention the beautiful color of this cocktail. It's just wonderful. It's so light and bright, something that I could drink as an aperitif right before my meal. There it is, my friends, the Laurel Canyon. So if you like our channel, please hit like and subscribe and check us out on Patreon. And not only that, we also now have YouTube memberships available as well. You get a few different exclusive gifts for your patronage or membership. So you should check it out.
You get a little badge.
You get a little badge. That's right, Marius. Thank you very much. So On the YouTube membership, you get like these little badges that tell you that change color for as long as you are a member. So as your membership increases, or like as the time increases or whatever, the badge changes color. And then so when we do live streams and you message, then that little badge comes up. And you can also have these really cool emojis that we made as well. So you have your own like little kind of custom emojis. So also Surfside Sips. I said Surfside Strips for some reason, but I meant Surfside Sips. They're making these cool little lightsaber straws that I'm going to be getting into some Star Wars cocktails. So Andrew Jordan hooked me up with some of these lightsaber straws. If you want to check them out, go to surfsidesips.com. And if you want 20% off at checkout, just type in Barfly at checkout. You'll get that 20% off on your whole order. I don't know. I don't know what more there is to say about that other than see you on another time. If this episode has been a little bit rough, please excuse us. We are trying hard to figure out a way to get this remote shooting kind of dialed in. And if I know Marius and myself, then I will tell you that the more we do something, the more we perfect it. But the first times we do it's a little bit rough, right, Marius?
Yes.
Yeah, it's always a little rough in the beginning. But we always dial it in pretty fast. We're smart guys. We're pretty smart guys, I would say.
So before we go, you said this would be a good aperitif. What makes it an aperitif versus some other cocktails?
Because honestly, when it's the bitters inside an Amaro that really make it a digestif. Whereas, and this is technically a digestif. This is an Amaro, but this is so light in character. This drink is so light in character. You've got the cucumber, you've got the gin, it's really bright. You've got the different botanicals inside the gin and then that nice cucumber kind of playing into the grapefruit. For me this just tastes like a nice bright summer kind of almost martini style drink, right? You got the Amaro, right? So but the Amaro is kind of playing with that dry vermouth and making it very bright and light. So for me, this is a meal starter, not a meal ender. You want something a little heavier and a little bit more bitter when you're ending your meal. So I would say this is, for me, this particular cocktail, not the Amaro. The Amaro on its own, the Montenegro on its own would be great for, it's weird because I'm like talking to you, but I should be kind of talking there. The Amaro Montenegro on its own is a great meal ender, but just in this cocktail and the way that it's expressed, I would say that this would be a meal starter for me. Did that answer your question?
I think so.
Kinda?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't want to talk around it and I don't want to talk in circles, but I don't know. I kind of just feel like its light character is something that I would have and then have the appetizers and then have the meal, you know what I mean? And then you go to something heavier on the finish.
Okay.
All right. Well, there it is, guys. All right, now we're going to try and figure out how to shoot a thumbnail without Marius and his photography skills here. So that's going to be interesting. All right, I'll see you guys on another time. Well, that was something.